Hello guys of United Rock Nations. Today to the Hellfest, we are with Cattle Decapitation, guitarist. Okay, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good. Doing great today. Happy to be at Hellfest for the first time and taking everything in.
This is the first time?
Yeah, we had a festival season tour a few years ago, and we didn't hit this one, but we had to do it this time, so we're glad we got to come.
So first Hellfest, how do you feel that?
Oh, I mean, it's ridiculous. The way everything's organized and just the layout, this is extremely impressive. You know, it's got to be. I know, aren't it and Wacken kind of running neck and neck as the big ones in Europe now? It's for someone in being in the States who doesn't get this very much, at all. It's just miraculous how they can execute everything as smoothly as it is done. So wish we could do that over the U.S.
I saw the show. It was very fantastic. A lot of people like you. Could you explain this phenomenon? Because you were on the metal extreme scene since 20 years. Yeah. And 20 years this year.
Yep.
7 albums. Yeah. 7 albums. Okay. You have done 7 albums. So how to explain this success with Cattle Decapitation? Because you are very brutal music. So let me know that.
Okay. Well, I mean we somehow over many lineup changes, although we've had a stable lineup for since 2010, I believe. We've gone through a lot of different incarnations, and I think we finally kind of got on a sort of term would be just like riding a wave that we try to help create for ourselves. So we just want to try to keep improving what we do, and I think people are starting to finally latch onto that, So it's, even though it is super abrasive music, I think the average metal listener now is into a lot more extreme styles than 20 years ago or whatever. Then it was just a fringe thing, and now it's like one of the more dominant forces in the metal scene. So I think that's helped us greatly too. We've kind of grown, and then people have kind of been introduced to like our band or other bands like ours with our style in an area where this is like a very common thing. It's like, oh, you listen to death metal or black metal or whatever. It's more of a thing. It's not a fringe within the metal umbrella as a whole. So that's kind of helped us out greatly too, I think, as far as people accepting what we're doing. If this was 20 years ago, like when we started and trying to do this, it would be a very like more DIY kind of thing. I don't think, especially at these festivals, back then it was like there was only a small handful, so who would have thought that many years ago that we would be playing something like this. So it's just good to see that the scene has progressed like that, and that we've been accepted enough that we were able to be invited to something like this.
Okay, thank you for this intro. About your artistic universe, you chose a specific theme in your lyrics, the defense of animals. Why this? Yes, why this attachment?
Where was I'm sorry?
About your lyrics, you speak about the defense of the animals, and you pick the human in the situation. Is that so? I want you to explain me this theme, this artistic. Why do you talk about that?
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily like an animal rights thing. I think there were certain earlier albums, and songs in particular that did address that very specifically. There's a song on the second record, Homivore, called "Veal and the Cult of Torture," and then there's some songs on "Disturb Man" that had kind of like almost an animal rights bent to it. We were never out there to like, throw slogans or to like, convert people. So we weren't like, the preachy band. But I mean, at the lyrics, you read into it, that's pretty much what it's about. Over time, and more recently, the past, several records, it's more of, yes, that's covered, but it's not directly mentioned. It's more of like a theme of humanity being harmful to itself and the rest of the world. That's where, if animal welfare falls under that, but I think it's more just a very graphic and damning description of humanity's evils to itself and the rest of nature. Okay. That's to me what Travis's lyrics are really honing in on. I think he's switched to a kind of like a broader spectrum of subjects and made it a little more universal. So people, even if they have no soft spot for animals or whatever, they can see that there's environmental destruction and just people are really shitty to each other. Everyone can relate to that. So I think that's helped a lot of people, kind of not necessarily latch on, but have a little more understanding of the lyrics and common insights, amongst one another.
Okay. So because of these ideas, I think it's necessary to play brutal death metal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think it's we if we really wanted to get the message or whatever out there, we could probably pick a lot better genres of music to do it with. But we're musicians first, and this is the music we like to play. So I think the anger in those lyrics and stuff, we want to have music that matches that, and then that is tuneful or whatever, I guess, and good music, but it conveys that frustration and just helplessness that modern society gives people. So I mean, it's an outlet for us, and hopefully people who listen to it have that outlet too, and they also read the lyrics and can get something out of that. So we try to be more than just, oh, they're brutal, or oh, their cover art's cool. We want to have the hit every button. The music's cool, the artwork's awesome, and the lyrics. In like death metal extreme music, a lot of times lyrics are like, why even have them? It's just, vocals are almost like another instrument for this genre. But I'm glad he put such an emphasis on the lyrical content and the concepts all tying in, because I think that helps set us apart from other bands, of the genre.
Could you explain to me, because I am interested by this information, how do you do cattle decapitation to compose, to process, to do an album, to do songs, to do music, to do lyrics? How do you do?
Well, actually, there's a video out where our producer engineer kind of describes, like, people ask, well, what's it like to work with those guys? And he made a point, and I think it kind of feeds into all that. We're four very different people with different, like things we emphasize in our playing, or types of metal we like, or what influences us personally within that. And it's the sort of medium in between those four forces that are pulling away from each other. That's where the band, there is some, this meeting point in the middle. As reluctant as we are to like compromise in our individual, what we give to the band, somewhere in there is this happy medium of the product that comes out musically and everything else. I'll say mostly musically, because that's myself, Derek, and Dave, and Travis has stuff occasionally, but he's like lyrics and concepts, that's all him. So the three of us will get in there and write some stuff and present it to him, and he'll kind of like, yay or nay, whatever. So I think it's the dynamic of just being different people that creates that, because you hear like, there's some black metal in there, or there's like a really heavy, almost traditional heavy metal part. It's like all those little things that combine to make what we just wanted to be able to have everyone have their sort of influence and say, but not to where it sounded like too random, or just too like just cut and paste. Just a very I think it's miraculous that we can have these influences but get something cohesive out of it in a song that's a song. It's hard to it's hard to do that. So it's a miracle that can happen. Okay. Honestly, yeah.
For the Anthropocene extinction, you worked with Eric Rutan.
No, Dave Otero.
Ah, Dave Otero. Yes. Ah, my information is not good. Oh, yeah. Okay, and he's very important for you in the description to do the music. How do you meet him?
We originally met him. Our friend Sval Carnage, who live in Denver. He's out of Denver too. They kept saying, "Man, you got to go to Otero. He's great. He's great." And we finally made it around to it, the last record in 2012, prior to Anthropocene. And then we were just like, had that experience. It was very positive, so we went back with him for Anthropocene. And it's just, there's a way when you're tracking with him, it's the key is, obviously the ideal for as you're tracking is to be comfortable and relaxed. And he manages to just put you in the zone where you need to be able to get your best performance You don't feel pressured. I mean, he'll tell you if something isn't working, or he'll suggest things that are different to do, but it never feels intrusive or like really dismissive. Like he's got that bedside manner as an engineer and producer that is just so valuable to have. So I mean, yes, of course his recordings sound great, but I think that's his strongest suit. What he brings to the table is, one, the ability to like somehow referee and mediate us all. But he also, when you're doing individual work, it's just you're completely comfortable while you're doing it. So, and I think those are two extremely important things that all good engineers and producers should have. And, he does. So that's why we're so happy with him.
Okay.
Yeah, and the records sound great. He does a great job. So. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think you are very productive. Capital Decapitation, 20 years, 7 albums. Mm-hmm. Very productive. Very several shows in the world. But could we expect for new material in maybe 1, 2 or 3 years?
I'd say since we have like another festival season booked over here next summer, I would say when we're done with that one, I mean, I can't say specific or like definitively. I mean, we may have an offer or something after that, but I would say after next summer, we'll probably we need to start writing and get in there. So I would say another year of touring and then go back in the studio and start hammering it out. I think, especially like after we're back from this, I think people will start to kind of be at home a little bit and be able to like start, writing on their own. So we'll have stuff to bring to the table when we do decide to get together and write. So I don't think we're going to be at the point where we're like, I got nothing, what do we do? I think there's always little stuff bubbling inside each other's heads that we can bring something to the table and have some riffs to sort through and build upon.
You work very hard. You work very, very hard. How do you find this time to do all these things?
Oh, I mean, it's hard. I mean, all of our schedules are different, but we tour a ton, and then we have our regular jobs too. So it's like with me personally, do this tour. We come home I think we get home on like a Sunday, early in the day. And then Monday's 4th of July, so it's a national holiday. And then I'm back in on Tuesday working, and then I work to the day before we leave. So it's like I should take more time off, but it's like the way it works is they make me take certain amounts of time off for this, so I never have time off when I get back to have mental break. It's all just like go. So we'll see how long that lasts, because when I've been at this job for 16 years, for a long time, and they let me come and go, which is awesome. But it's like I feel like I just need to sit in a chair for a while and because we have our schedule with cattle and then our personal stuff. It's a lot. Everyone's got a lot. Everyone keeps their plate very full. Our bass player has a company where he is like a t-shirt company, and our singer's he's super busy with. He does online resale and stuff. He's always doing that. So it's, I think we all kind of put ourselves in this, where we have certain energy in like that sort of frantic energy in our lives that we always, even if we say that, oh, we can't do this, it's just, I got to take a break. You always put yourself in that situation. So there's this subconscious like need to be, at all times, as unhealthy as that probably is.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for this answer.